Hey Summoners, we're back again with our top underrated picks, this time for patch 10.17. We believe that the meta has not shifted much since the last patch, but there are some hidden gems that people are not abusing in solo queue right now. My name is Dan, and I'll be walking you through our picks. We're going to start off with the question of the day. What motivates you to keep grinding solo queue? Is it because you want to see how far you can possibly go? Or is it as simple as gaining bragging rights? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out our website at ProGuides.com. We post our list of underrated champs for every patch, so if you want to quickly be able to master these champions, we highly recommend our on-demand coaching that we offer. Direct, one-on-one, VOD reviews, it's up to you on what you prefer in order to improve your play. We also have live classes from the best to the best, and courses created for all skill levels to supplement your growth. With the season coming to an end, don't waste your time and check it out. Starting us off with this list is Hecarim. We believe that he is extremely OP right now, as he has one of the highest win rates despite his 1.5% pick rate in the top lane.
I do not rest.
Our analysts say that he has an absurd win rate right now because nobody really knows how strong Hecarim's all-in is. At level 2 or 3, stack your Q up for maximum DPS and simply use your Ghost and E to run your opponent down. Even if your opponent flashes, you can easily catch up with your insane movement speed and get a free kill. Getting an early game lead with a cheesy first blood will allow you to take over the game, as you can keep running your opponent down, or you can look to crash your wave and look to roam mid and impact the rest of the map. We believe that Hecarim is a relatively easy champion to pick up, so we highly suggest trying this pony out. Just make sure that when you're looking for that early game all-in, you don't auto-shove the wave so that the wave meets on their side of the map. You want the wave to be on your side so you have a longer wave to run them down in. For our second pick in the top lane, we have the crab monster himself, Urgot.
Death could not break me.
Similar to Hecarim, he has a pretty low pick rate with a decent win rate, and we have analyzed that he is in a good spot right now because most of the popular top laners are melee, so Urgot will have a really fun time using his range advantage to harass and plow down his opponents in lane. Unfortunately, he does not have the ability to cheese opponents that early into the game like Hecarim, but he is a bruiser that deals a bunch of damage while also staying relatively tanky due to his build path. Once he has levels and items, it becomes really hard for any top laner to kill Urgot, as he can always dash out and kite with his Q and W. Make sure you combo his ult by landing your Q first for the slow, or landing your E into ult for an almost guaranteed hit. I'm sure many of you guys have faced off against that one super mega fed Rengar before, where you're dead within a blink of an eye. Our analysts say that Rengar has lost some popularity within the past few months, but is still extremely strong.
Remember every kill.
Usually you want to power farm until you get level 6, but if you have a favorable jungle matchup and favorable lane matchups, it's not a bad idea to try and look for a lane gank on the sides to start your snowball early. As many of you guys may already know, your goal is to be so fed that you can simply one-shot any squishy on the enemy team and pretty much try to get them to rage quit. If you do manage to find a way to get fed, you either want to live in the enemy jungle after sweeping and controlling vision, or just looking for a one-shot on the side lanes if you see an overextended player with your ultimate. Rengar can be a bit hard to pick up because if you fall behind, you will not be able to impact the game as much, and you need to be smart with how you play fights around bushes. But see if you can find any success first before going next on this champion, because he is crazy strong when played right. Next up, we have Rammus.
Okay.
This armadillo has been neglected for a really long time, but we definitely think he's underrated. We even speculate that he's OP because he hasn't been played in so long that it's super easy to pull off ganks to those who aren't familiar with the champion. It is true that Rammus has a similar playstyle as Nunu, but he is a lot more tanky and mistakes are harder to make. I'm sure many of you guys have experienced snowballing and ending up in a really awkward spot when playing Nunu. That'll never happen with your trusty armadillo. Now, what you want to do when playing Rammus is to constantly look at your map to see if anyone plays overly aggressive or is constantly pushed up. Whenever it looks promising, start rolling and get a free flash or even land a kill. Make sure that if the enemy uses an important spell such as CD to escape, you keep coming to that lane until it's back up to get max value on that gank. Just make sure you balance ganking and farming, because the last thing you'll want is to fall too behind because of failed ganks. Alright, for the mid lane, we chose Qiyana to be the first mid underrated pick for patch 10.17. She had a lot of popularity when she came out, but has not seen much play after a while.
Qiyana, say it!
But our analysts believe that this champion is heavily underrated because of how much she can impact the map if played properly. She can be quite tricky to master, as you will need to be comfortable with grabbing the right elementals at the right time to outplay your opponents. However, we believe that Qiyana can be a strong pick for anyone after a couple of games if you're able to get her combos down. Her bread and butter combo is using her E into Q, and for those who may not know, Q will lock down on the enemy champion if you use it during the E dash, making it almost impossible to dodge. After that, a quick ult into a wall will guarantee you a free kill. Make sure that when you're playing this champion, you try and shove in your wave as soon as you see a roam opportunity on the map. That could mean overextended top or bot lane, or you can try to kill the enemy jungler if you have a good idea on where they could be. Alright, for our second underrated mid lane pick, it's Malzahar.
As was foreseen.
We think Malzahar is really strong right now, especially when Yasuo and Yone are being played in almost every game. Malzahar simply shuts their whole game plan down as you just press R and you just kind of win. For any matchup, you want to pretty much try to safely farm until 6. You're more of a mid-game champion, so you want to try to not take any reckless trades that may force you out of lane before having enough for your item spikes. Your whole game plan should revolve around making plays with your ultimate, as you have one of the biggest power spikes with Malzahar when you hit 6. This can be done by simply holding a freeze and asking for a gank and pressing R on them for a free kill into a dragon or herald. Since he's a pretty simple champion, it won't take many games to be competent with him, so make sure you try him out and see if he fits your playstyle. Cass is a really good pick that doesn't get enough recognition in the bot lane. Our analysts say that even though Cass isn't the most OP bot lane you can pick right now, she is a really good situational pick.
I'm not so easy to get out of your system.
She should definitely be considered during Champ Select if your team needs more AP damage or a reliable control mage to balance the team out. Another point that we want to share is that most mages bot lack the ability to DPS objectives like Dragon and Baron, which makes the pick substantially weaker as you will have a harder time securing them. But Cass is actually really good with objectives because of her constant DPS from her Poison, E-Spam, and Liandry's Burn. You definitely want to pick this champ with any support with hard CC to lock your opponents and mow them down.
People keep running into my blade.
So our second choice for bot lane is Yasuo with his surprisingly low 2.2% pick rate and modest 50% win rate. We believe that this pick would have a lot higher win rate if played in the right situations. What we mean by the right situations is when he is picked in matchups where the AD has low mobility or short range so that Yasuo can dash around and follow them. This pick gets even better when your support has good setups for your ult, such as Thresh and Gragas. So if you ever see the opportunity, it is definitely worth a shot. A simple guide on how to play Yasuo in bot lane is to have the wave on your side so that you can always dash in and look for an all-in with your support and possibly with your jungler. Since your opponent needs to be extended to CS, you should have many windows to go in, especially when you hit 6. That is one of the many game plans you can have as Yasuo, but if you want a more in-depth guide on how to play Yasuo bot, you should definitely check out our coaching services at ProGuides.com. Our coaches will lay out exactly what you should do in lane and how you can improve on it. So our first pick for support is Galio. Currently, there are not many good all-in supports with high win rates, but we think Galio is a good fit for that category.
Whoa! I didn't know I had a tail.
He's also only good situationally because he will get poked out of lane by most support and ADC combos, but would be good against short-ranged ADCs or if your ADC is playing someone like Yasuo or Caitlyn. We believe that the key strength of this pick is not for laning, but the roaming presence he has later in the game. If you play in the Fog of War, the enemy will have to respect your ability to just come crashing into their lane at any time and getting turned on. This also means that your jungler will have more freedom to farm in the enemy jungle because you can always press R and join the jungle skirmish, making it a 2 versus 1 in a blink of an eye.
Shields defend hearts, both yours and those beside you.
And finally, we have Pantheon. Similar to Galio, he has a playstyle that heavily relies on roaming and all-ins during laning phase. Since he is melee, he excels against matchups with low mobility and short-ranged ADCs as he can walk up and look for a stun, dealing a substantial amount of damage with PTA and E to kite back and forth. The two main things that you should be focusing on when picking this champion are diving and hard roaming. Your point-and-click stun along with your E that allows you to tank multiple turret shots makes diving extremely easy. This, along with your ultimate ability, makes you another scary champ when played in the Fog of War. If you're coming back onto the map after a reset, make sure you take a good look at all your lanes to see if any lanes are easily diveable. And if there is one, jump down to their lane and ruin their day. Well, that pretty much wraps up our underrated picks for patch 10.17. Hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next one.